Welcome to the Hot Dog Juice Show, Tenno. My name is Sunren, and I'm your gracious host, and I'm going to be here talking to you about Chromatic Blade, one of Excalibur's augment mods. With this in place, basically I'm going to give you the negatives and the positives so far, what I've known and my knowledge of how to play Warframe with this particular mod in place. So, as we go into our arsenal here, you can see that Exalted Blade has IPS. Mainly, what I mean by that is impact, puncture, and most particularly slash. These are really, really important components. And as you can see that, now the reason why I say it's important is because impact, let's just start with that. Impact gives a knockback, which is really nice for opening up to give you more time to deal more damage. Puncture lessens the amount of damage that an enemy gives takes to you by, I think, 30%. And slash bleeds the enemy, so basically it deals more damage for less amount of manual labor, basically, for playing the game. Now, when you put on Chromatic Blade, this is what exactly happens in Chromatic Blade. It takes away IPS. So no longer you do have all those nice little elements when you have Chromatic Blade. Instead, you have a full elemental weapon. And beam weapons that are not exactly like blades and energy blades work really well because they have a different mechanic, but this just gives you basic elemental damage. So here you see, as I am dealing damage to these targets, this is dealing corrosive damage, which is not really great against Corpus units because they don't have any armor. They do have shields that stop a lot of the damage. However, fire adds to or deals very good damage against targets that are not armored, like the Corpus. So, with that in place, I want to make sure that at least you guys know. I want to list this out a little bit. So, basically with the Chromatic Blade, you're losing IPS, the impact, puncture, and slash mechanics of the game through, you're basically throwing that out of the window on your Exalted Blade and having a full elemental weapon. With that, though, there are some advantages and disadvantages. It's kind of like a two-edged sword. Very funny, I know, it's a funny situation. So basically, you could, in a sense, since you've lost all that wonderful stuff about knockback and bleeds and then lowering down damage output from the enemy, you could add elements that kind of emulate that. Like I already just mentioned, fire, and then also toxin deals really good against just base health against targets. Viral damage also does really well. It literally cuts enemies' health in half on status proc. And then other elements like radiation is kind of a nice base for dealing damage because it really doesn't have very many weaknesses towards a certain enemy. Most enemies are just kind of neutral, so it's kind of a nice compromise for losing basic damage. So yeah, these are kind of the things I see for the Chromatic Blade. I hope you enjoy all this information and you can mull over it yourself and decide what you want, how you want to use this augment. Bearing this in mind, I really do like this augment. It's really fun. The fact that you can actually... Oh, last point. I'm very sorry. Last point of the reason why it's called Chromatic Blade is because the energy color of what you color your Warframe, aka Excalibur, gives you the advantage of extra elemental damage. So if you color it red, orange, or yellow, it's going to be fire. If it's blue, white, and some other color, I believe it's ice. So anyhow, you can try it out and see. That also adds and helps out your modding skills to be able to use this mod effectively. And with that, thank you so much for listening to me rant, Tenno, and we will talk to you in the next time or video. Bye-bye.